Good morning. I am Sivaganathan, working in SSM Institute of Engineering Technology, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering. Today we are discuss about Foundation Engineering. The first unit is like site investigation and selection of foundation. So what is meant by site investigation? To find out the soil exploration. So which type of soil is taken, what are the characteristics to be correlated in field and laboratory. So, what is meant by soil exploration means the field and laboratory studies carried out for taking the necessary information about the subsoil characteristics, including the position and water table, are termed as soil exploration. So, that is meant by soil exploration to find out the character of soil position. So, why we taking the soil characters? So to find out the safe bearing capacity and to find out the specific gravity and like rock and soil types and groundwater conditions. So that is are very useful for to design the foundations. So which type of foundation is to be used. So we need the informations. So finally we get the safe bearing capacity of soil. So safe bearing capacity is based upon the to soil character. Okay, so safe bearing capacity is high to locate the different types of foundation. Very poor safe bearing capacity to change the foundation types like pile foundations or raft foundations. So this is the important terms to like the to find out the safe bearing capacity of soil. So what are the methods to find out the soil exploration? So two main methods. There is first one preliminary exploration and second one detailed exploration. So what is the detailed exploration? To find out the direct methods. That is the different four methods are available in detailed exploration. So first one direct methods. That is the direct methods is called the open pit or trial pit method. And second one boring method and other boring methods like the auger boring, was boring, percussion boring and rotary drilling. So what are the types available in ground? So to locate the method of explorations, very easily to find out the rock to locate the direct methods. So these are the direct methods. Other indirect method. Direct method means directly we are going to the site and taking out the sample and find out the characteristics of soil. To find out the characters and other preliminary details to collect the field or laboratory test, mainly to conduct the standard penetration test. This is the very important test for to find out the safe bearing capacity. So this is the we are directly going to the site and to find out the safe bearing capacity of soil. That is the direct methods. And other method is indirect methods of exploration. There is the two methods. That is first one is seismic refraction method and second one is electrical resistivity method. So these are the indirect methods. This type we are going to the instrument and put out the readings and to find out the safe bearing capacity of soil. So these indirect methods do not disturb the soil. Direct method means to disturb the soil to find out the samples and to get the details. But indirect methods do not disturb the soil and to find out the soil characteristics. That is the indirect methods of exploration. So first one, test and trial method is cheapest way of site exploration, do not require any specialized equipment. Okay, so a pit is manually excavated to get its indication of the soil classification and taken to the undisturbed and disturbed samples. So trial pits allows visual inspection of any change of strata, and with state in situ testing they are suitable for exploration of shallow depth only. So only we get the shallow depth to find out the characteristics of soil to directly to go to the test or trial pit method. It is the very cheapest method. So easily find out the soil samples and to get the details for in details like particle size distribution and other specific gravity, plastic limit, liquid limit. So what are the character we require to find out the characteristics of soil, that is the test or trial pit method, and second one is boring methods. So four boring methods available in boring methods. So first one, making the drilling boreholes into the ground with a view to taking soil or rock samples from specified or known depths is called boring. So we take out to the soil sample to the specified depth is called the boring. The common boring methods of advancing boreholes are described below. So that is the first one is auger method. So soil auger is a device that is useful for advancing a borehole into the ground. Augers may be hand operated or power driven. So these are used to the small depths to use the hand operated auger. The level between the 3 to 5 meter. So the height between less than 3 to 5 meter, directly we are going to the hand operated auger. Otherwise the depth is increased to take into the soil sample power driven auger. So the soil auger advanced to by rotating the pressing to the soil at the same time. As soon as auger gets filled with soil, it is taken out and the soil sample collected. The soil sample taken only the disturbed sample. So this method we are taking into the only taken into the disturbed soil. Okay, so disturbed sample only find out the some characters like the plastic limit and liquid limit. The specified characters say bearing capacity not to take into the disturbed sample. So we want to the say bearing capacity of soil only to find out the undisturbed soil sample. Okay, this method is used only the soft sample. So soft soil into the ground only we are taken to the auger method. It is the auger method, and there is a hand operated and power driven auger. So boring tools are used many type, hand tools and auger borings. Okay, power driven augers we have go to the gravel, cobbles, so that is not suitable. Okay, so this method, the power driven augers rapidly depth from 60 meter or more. So only 3 to 5 meter we are going to the hand operated auger, up to 6 meter we are going to the power driven auger. So next one, was boring. So was boring method, the water is forced under pressure through a hollow drill which may be rotated or moved up and down inside casing. So lower end has chopping pit, only boring can be, and sample no use. Okay, so this type of was boring we are using to the bentonite chemical. So bentonite chemical to surrounding of soil is to the getting tighter. Okay, so advantages of this boring, the equipment is simple to use, possible above and below the water table. Disadvantages of this boring, water is required for pumping, and second one, suitable for unconsolidated rocks only, sand, silt, clay. So boulders can prevent further drilling. So these are the was boring. And second one, percussion boring. So percussion boring is suitable for soft rock. So advantages of percussion drilling is simple to operate and maintain, and suitable for wide variety of rocks. Operation is possible above and below the water table. And last one, the advantages is it is possible to drill considerable depths. So disadvantages like the slow compared to other methods. It is a very slow process, and equipment can be heavy. And third one, problems can occur with unstable rock formations, and water is needed for dry holes to help remove cuttings. So these are the disadvantages of percussion drilling. Last one, rotary drilling. It is a very fastest method. A hard rock to be drilling to using the rotary drilling. Okay, so advantages of rotary drilling. First one, most rock formation can be drilled. So what are the rocks in available in ground? They are easily to taken to the sample. So water and mud supports unstable formations. So this is a very fastest method. So disadvantages like requires capital expenditure in equipment. So equipment cost is very high, and water is required for pumping. There can be problems with boulders. Okay, and last one, rig requires careful operation and maintenance. So maintenance cost is high and equipment cost also high. These are the disadvantages of percussion boring. So this we are discuss about the direct methods. So indirect methods like the seismic refraction and geophysical method. So seismic refraction method we have used to the geophone. There is a different levels to put out the waves. So wave to the passing to the ground and reflect to the geophone. So what are the time to be passing the waves to call it the type of soil. So these are the seismic refraction method, and second one electrical resistivity method. So this type of method to use into the battery and millimeter. So to passing the current and apply it to the ground. So what are the distance to be traveled to find out the soil character. So these are the indirect method of soil exploration. Then soil sampling. So mainly we are discussing about soil sampling. This is the three type of soil sample. First one disturbed sample, and second one undisturbed sample, and third one representative sample. Okay, so disturbed sample, the soil character, the soil taken to the ground, sampling to be disturbed. Okay, so reasonably good estimates of properties cohesive soil can be made by laboratory test of undisturbed samples, which can be taken with moderate difficulty. These are the disturbed and undisturbed sample. The soil character to be changed, it is called the disturbed sample. The soil do not change the original position or original character. This is called the undisturbed sample. And representative sample to visually to find out the soil is taken as representative sample. And non-representative means do not find out. There is a mixture of many soil. It is called the non-representative sample. Okay, so mainly to find out the representative sample useful in identification and partially deformed. The engineering properties are changed, but the original fabric and structure vary from unchanged to distorted and are still apparent. Such distortion occurs with split barrel samples. So these are the disturbed and undisturbed type of samples. Okay, so next important term is sampler. So sample means we are taken to the sample into the ground. These are the samples. That is like the disturbed and undisturbed, representative and non-representative samples. So sampler means which type of equipment to be used to taken out the sample is called the samplers. The main sampler parts is cutting edge, inside wall friction, non-return wall. So this depends upon that to taken out the disturbed or undisturbed sample to be taken. The cutting edge is minimum to taken to the undisturbed samples. There is like the inside clearance, area ratio. These are main components or main factors or the samplers. So inside clearance, the factors like the inside clearance reduce friction between the soil sample and the sampler when the soil enters by allowing for elastic expansion. If too large, there will be too much lateral expansion. Should be between the 1 to 3%. Outside clearance reduce friction while sampler is being driven and when it is being withdrawn after sample is collected. Here's the main 2 points is like that. Not greater than inside clearance, and second one lies between 0 and 2%. So samplers, the main factors. So what are the samplers like? The mainly three type of sampler to be used to collect the samples. First one split spoon sampler, and second one thin wall sampler, and third one stationary piston sampler. So these three types are used to collect the samples. Split spoon sampler representative samples can usually to taken by the driving or pushing into the strata in a borehole, and open-ended sampling spoon called a split spoon sampler. It is made up of a driving shoe and a barrel. The barrel is split longitudinally into the two halves with a coupling at the upper end for connection to the drill rods. In the test, the sampler is driven to the soil a measured distance. After the sample is taken, the cutting shoe and coupling are unscrewed and the two halves of the barrel separated into the expose the material. This is the split spoon sampler. Is mainly used to the standard penetration test to collect to the undisturbed samples. And second one, thin wall sampler. Thin wall samplers are used to taken to the undisturbed sample. The area is usually below 15%. The samplers are cold drawn seamless tubes made out of brass, aluminum, or any other suitable material having adequate strength, durability, and resistance to corrosion. These are the thin wall sampler. And finally, we have see the piston sampler. To improve the quality of samples and to increase the recovery of soft or slightly cohesive soil, a piston sampler is normally used. Such a sampler consists of thin-walled tube fitted with a piston that closes the end of the sampling tube until the apparatus is lowered to the bottom of the borehole. The sampling tube is pushed into the soil hydraulically by keeping the piston stationary. This is the piston sampler. So these are the to find out the safe bearing capacity of soil, and mainly to see the standard penetration test. That is code referred by IS 2131 1963. So this is widely to be used the standard penetration test to find out the safe bearing capacity of soil. So the important point, how to get the value of SBC of soil. So this test procedure is like that, useful in determining the relative density and the angle of shear resistance of cohesionless soil. Also can find compressive strength of cohesive soil. Test is conducted in borehole using split spoon sampler. The drop hammer to be used in weight of 63.5 kg, falling from a height 75 cm. The first is 15 cm seating is drive. Number of blows required for next 30 cm. So we have marked in split spoon sampler 45 cm. So first 15 cm do not take in the measurement. That is only to the seating drive. So next 30 cm penetration was noted to the SPT number. So SPT number to be noted. The test is discontinued. The number of blows exceed 50. So number of blows exceed 50 to stop the procedure, and the soil lies to the refusal. It is a very hot strata. It is the standard penetration test, and other one cone penetration test. So standard penetration must be used in the hard soil, but cone penetration used to the soft soil like silt, clay. So this type of soil to find out the cone penetration test. So these are to the two procedures, hydraulically to push the drive and to take out the sample every 2 cm. So finally to get the soil sample to find out the safe bearing capacity of soil. So it is all to the unit 1. soil expression and selection of foundation. So which type of soil to find out, and suitable foundation to be given to the position of soil. Depends upon the soil to give the type of foundation is selected. Okay, so this is the unit 1, soil exploration and selection of foundation. Okay, thank you.